I think what I see most people doing now that seems to um, be successful is as early as possible. They're using, like you said, a table or a platform, but targets, so physical aids, and you can hands off shape it, or you can, however you get the dog to identify that they go to that thing and that's where they're paid. You start from a close distance, and then you would eventually, as the dog's getting it and they're sort of magnetized towards that thing, you can create distance over time. But the idea is that very early on with a dog, you kind of present this concept that even though I have reinforcement with me, the best strategy by which to get it is to move away from me and go to that thing. And what we were finding, so in ring sport, it's a common problem when there's an exercise where the dog has to perform position changes from a distance. And a lot of dogs that are just like too drawn to the person. And it's because in the early stages of training, a lot of the food comes from me or the toys come from me. So the dog's really um, drawn into me. They expect it, and especially for dogs that are just really motivated, they get sticky. So they're really stuck on the person. And so when you put them at any sort of distance and you start asking them to change positions, even if your mechanics are built correctly, like it's common that people teach a fold back down and the dog to come back up into a sit, they creep forward. So that's hard for them to keep their piece of real estate because they so badly want to be closer to you because that's where the reward comes from. And so, and then the big thing though, I think at that point, so if you can have a dog that, can easily and with, without feeling like, they're losing something by moving away from you. So they run with conviction towards, say, a physical target that's away from you. If that's going well and you're adding distance and it's still going well, I think you have to start thinking about how they expect to be rewarded then when they complete that task. And so if you're sending dogs to a target and you're saying yes, and they're coming back and still getting reward from you, some dogs that can go really well. Like my wife has border collies, and I feel like they just come programmed with, like, you ask them to do the thing and wherever they are, they do it. They're less like compelled by or preoccupied by the rewards, and they're more almost task driven, just genetically. It's kind of interesting. In the Malinois, it's harder for them to let go of the reward. So it has this constant pull at them. So even though I'm sending them to a distance target, um, and they get there, and if I were to say yes and commonly reward them back to me, I think you're going to be in trouble at the point where you try to reduce that target, or you try to say, hey, that's no longer there, and I just want you to hold, a spot out in that field and do the thing. And without that help, like the magnetization of the reward or just being close to me starts to creep in and deteriorate what you might have thought was good work.